Blackstone presents Jonah by Lewis Stone. This book is read by Gregory Dwyer. Part 1. Larrikin's All. Chapter 1. Saturday night at the corner. One side of the street glittered like a brilliant eruption with the light from a row of shops. The other, lined with houses, was almost deserted, for the people, drawn like moths by the glare, crowded and jostled under the lights. It was Saturday night, and Waterloo, by immemorial habit, had flung itself on the shops, bent on plunder. For an hour past, a stream of people had flowed from the back streets into Botany Road, where the shops stood in shining rows awaiting the conflict. The butchers caught the eye with a flare of colour as the light played on the pink and white flesh of sheep, gutted and skewered like victims for sacrifice, the saffron and red quarters of beef hanging like the limbs of a dismembered colossus, and the carcasses of pigs, the unclean beast of the Jews, pallid as a corpse. The butchers passed in and out, sweating and greasy, hoarsely crying the prices as they cut and hacked the meat. The people crowded about, sniffing the odour of dead flesh, hungry and brutal, carnivora seeking their prey. At the grocer's the light was reflected from the gay labels on tins and packages and bottles, and the air was heavy with the confused odour of tea, coffee and spices. Cabbages piled in heaps against the doorposts of the greengrocers threw a rank smell of vegetables on the air. The fruit within, built in pyramids for display, filled the nostrils with the fragrant, wholesome scents of the orchard. The buyers surged against the barricade of counters, shouting their orders, contesting the ground inch by inch as they fought for the value of a penny. And they emerged, staggering under the weight of their plunder, laden like ants with food for hungry mouths, the insatiable maw of the people. The push was gathered under the veranda at the corner of Cardigan Street, smoking cigarettes and discussing the weightier matters of life, horses and women. They were all young, from 18 to 25, for the Larrikin never grows old. They leaned against the veranda posts or squatted below the windows of the shop, which had been to let for months. Here they met nightly, as men meet at their club, a terror to the neighbourhood. Their chief diversion was to guy the pedestrians, leaping from insult to swift retaliation if one resented their foul comments. "Jan," one was saying, "I tell you, some horses know more than a man. I remember old Joe Riley going into the stable one day to a brown mare as had a dairy on him because he flogged her cruel. Well, what does she do? She squeezes him up against the side of the stable and nearly stiffens him.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?